Welcome to Behind the Bricks Woodline Edition. This is episode 17. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't already, I would like you to like, follow, subscribe below, hit that notification button so you can see the next episode. I want to first talk a little bit about my sponsors. The hat that I'm wearing is from our sponsor, JTDKB Enterprises. The name of their brand is I'm Possible. If you are looking for inspiration in everything that you do, and knowing that anything that you want to do in your life, you are possible, check out the brand. It is www.sayIampossible.com. One more time, that is www.sayIampossible.com. You want to spell that all the way out so you can get 10% off your very first purchase. All of our proceeds, we give 5% to veterans charities to help the veteran homeless population in the Chicagoland area. So back to the video. The reason for the mask today is because we heard that there's some progress going on within today's project. So I'll talk a little bit about why I decided to mask as we go through. So come on with me. Let's go ahead and take a look. All right. We got walls, guys. Finally. Okay, so as you guys remember, when I do these videos, you guys are seeing it live, just the same way that I am seeing it. I heard that we had walls, but as you guys know in my previous videos, we've been waiting for this day to come for quite some time. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look through. The reason for the mask is that I heard the walls were just sanded. So if the walls were just sanded, that means there was a lot of dust particles. But looking around, it doesn't seem like it was sanded today. So what we got here is we have some, the drywall has actually been hung. So what I'm looking for right now is I'm looking to make sure that I see those light switches, those areas that we should be seeing switches in soon, and plugs in at the baseboards. So you want to make sure that all of those things are actually cut out, because if not, that means they're hidden behind this drywall, and somebody is most likely to take some drywall down to make sure they're right. So these are a couple of things that you want to be cognizant of when you're actually walking through your project. You want to make sure that everything is aligned so there is no rework. Rework means what, guys? More cha-ching that we don't want to spend on rework. So we're going to go close the door real quick because we don't want anything coming in after us. So taking a look in here, come on in. Alrighty, so we have our window. We got a window plugs. So what I'm looking at, guys, is this is our cutout of the window. The windows haven't been hung yet, so I do have a window here. I got a plug here. I got my plugs there. So 1, 2, 3, 4 here, 5 here. So my apologies, these are the light switches I'm looking at. What I was doing was I was counting my plugs. You want to make sure that you have your plugs there. So this is on this side, this is the closet light, and that's this is your plug over here. So this is actually the frame out of the closet. Okay, so my intentions in here, there's a couple of things that are going to have to be done in here to finish it up. We'll take a look. These corner boards. So I want to talk a little bit about these corner boards. You want to make sure when you're looking at people doing mud and tape that they mud and tape these correctly. What I have learned over years of time is that if these are not taped down, that over time, when they paint these, you run into the walls or touch the walls in these areas, that the paint will chip off. So a good person, when they do a mud and tape, they will actually mud and tape these down to make sure that you don't have that exposed metal at the very corners. And it's made to keep your corners nice and tight in those areas or doorways. So you'll see these in on doorways, on corner edges, but you want to make sure that you get mud and tape guy takes those down, put some mud and tape on. And Mud and tape is to hide the seams, hide nail marks, holes in the walls, imperfections. You utilize the mud and tape in those areas to keep that nice and smooth. So when your paint is put on there, that is put on it nice and even. So let's see, we got tape over the drywall right here. We got tape over the plug. Okay. So, all right. Let's see. I have. So what I missed. Let me do a quick look. I missed it the first time I walked in. Come on in. Okay. The vents. So you also want to look at your vents. Okay, so what I noticed is this here. So right here, I have a gas line. So the gas line, as you can well see, is not flush with the ceiling. By it not being flush means even. So if it's not flush with the ceiling, that means that, what are we doing here? So that means either someone, when we're going to stand on top of this, that means this pipe is not up in the ceiling enough for us to actually start painting right here. This pipe should not be exposed. It should have been in underneath the drywall. So that's a question we'll ask our GC. So currently here, as you see, these are metal corners on here, as I was saying, to the closet area over there. And if you can see, the mud is not dry. So it usually takes between 48 to 72 hours, and it really depends on the temperature in your place that you're putting the mud and tape. The colder it is, sometimes it dries a little quicker. People say that with the heat, the mud will dry quicker than when it's cold, but it really just depends on what kind of climate and what kind of mud you use. One more time, I am not an expert. I am somebody who has been in construction for over 20 years. Things have changed a lot in the last 15 years since I've actually been doing construction hands-on, but I have enough knowledge to be dangerous. I'll say it that way. So what else I'm looking for is to make sure, so here's our HVAC. So I see we have one HVAC in here, and I was pretty sure that I remembered seeing two originally, but I'll go back in my previous videos and see if it's there. So this is actually where the light will be. So I have the lights. So that right here, this is where the carbon monoxide detectors need to be in every bedroom. For the new code, you have to have carbon monoxide detectors in each bedroom. We talked about that in the previous video, but remember, right now we're looking to make sure all of those things are still present so we can get that all squared away. So I have HVAC here. This is a carbon monoxide detector. This is where it will be here. This is actually a light switch. So I'm gonna walk through. So that was bedroom number 1 that we walked into. This is bedroom number 2. So same things are exposed. So it might be a thing why these are exposed. I'll ask more questions. As I said, guys, there's been like 15 years since I actually was hands-on doing some physical things in construction. But as I said, I'm not a complete novice, just double checking things. So light switch, plug, 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 plug. So I have 4 plugs in the room. I have the actual light fixture there. What I don't see, make sure I'm not missing it, is I don't see the carbon monoxide detector in here. Maybe they're gonna put it right outside the bedroom, but I'll ask some more questions. So here's the light switch for the closet. Closet light is in there. You got a little centipedes in there. It's more so because the windows are still open. And there is our HVAC. So we're going to continue walking through. Being cognizant that we got lights on the floor. So here, these are, one should be a light and one should be a smoke detector. Oh yeah, carbon monoxide smoke detector combo. That's what it's actually called. Looking around for plugs. Step back a little bit. I just want to make sure there's a plug in the hallway. Plug there. So we got one on this side. Walking through. We got one here. All right. That was bedroom number 3. So we got plug light switch. Plug, light switch here. Smoke detector box here. They covered up a little bit more than they probably intended to here with the mud and tape up there. So where I was talking about the butter tape, now you see these corners. If you zoom in a little bit, you should be able to see that you can see those corners. This corner here should not be, when you paint it, as you, because you're going to at some point in time tip and hit this. The paint chips off of it. It doesn't adhere to the metal or aluminum well. So what I saw, I see the carbon monoxide detector there. The light switch is here. There is the HVAC. We got plugs all around. We're still good in here. So let's see where we'll put that television in here. Alrighty. So across here we have the storage closet, which here's the light switch. Switch is here. Light is up there. That's dry. Okay, inside here we have that window. Okay, we're good there. So we're in the bathroom. Now we know what they have, what they were doing. Great job. All right, so now we're gonna walk inside the bathroom. So this is the light switch for the hall, which there's a light there. Pretty sure there's gonna be a smoke detector light there, so we'll check it out. We're gonna walk inside the bathroom. So we have light switch, heat vent, light switch, heat vent. This right here is for the vanity light. You have the sink is going to be here. So sink's there, toilet's here, shower is going to go across here. Here's the shower pan that we requested. So I requested a shower pan in here. So they put it on the opposite wall. So you have, so I'm going to make mention. This is only me making mention. Two things. I'm going to gather from what I'm looking at right now that when you have a wet wall for your shower, there should be different type of drywall, or there might be something they're going to put on top of here. I'll have to ask my GC to ask questions. And this might be an old regulation that I'm thinking about. Remember, guys, 15 years I haven't been doing this, but I'm pretty sure that the wall that your shower is going to be on and you're going to put tile against requires to have a different type of drywall. I think it's called Durock, but don't hold me to it. I will... You'll see flash across the screen what it actually type of drywall it should be if it's not the same type that they actually did purchase. What I don't see is I don't see the water supply for the shower. I don't see the cutouts. So why the piece of drywall isn't here? The piece of drywall isn't here because we're still waiting for the plumbing final inspection to come out and take a look and make sure that all of this is completely up to code. There was a couple changes that they requested to the permit, and that's why we had to make sure this was stayed open so that building inspector could come out and take a look. But what I don't see is the actual shower, the water supplies. Because the water supplies, they were down here underneath the wall. So I do see that they have squiggly lines here, which possibly will mean that they're going to cut these areas out and then go from there. But if you look at this piece of drywall, you can see that the notches are actually cut out because they put the drywall up there and they knew where the notches were supposed to be. So it's a question. As I said, remember, guys, some things I'm going to know, some things I'm not going to know, but I want to give you guys as much information as possible of what you need to look for when you're walking through. So these are question points where I'll have a question of why isn't the shower water supply actually accessible at this point, and to find out to determine if this is the right type of drywall. So I always go back and I revisit these videos and have a conversation with my contractor. So as you well can see, we got a framed out linen closet in here. So we have the actual bathroom, which is a lot bigger than we thought it was going to be in the first place. And this is our linen closet, which is very nicely done. So I had odds with our carpenter because of the fact that I was looking around and I was like, okay, we changed up some things. We didn't do some things that we were asked. And I just wanted to make sure that we clean those things up. So we're gonna take a look around the corner, see what we got. Okay, so we were taking a look at the water that's here. So I see that some water is pooled. I saw water that was pooled in the bathroom. I was thinking that it's most likely had to do with them tying in the water lines in there to the main line. So I'm a little got just a question to ask why we have water coming from this way and it's behind this wall behind the stairs. So that leads me to believe that either the water is it's coming in from somewhere outside. It could be the door area that has water coming through, because I'm seeing it all the way to here, all the way around down there, which means that the water is getting in somehow. We want to make sure that we address that prior to us laying the floors, which should be the next steps for the week. So I'm going to go upstairs, take a quick look. All right, so we got the hallway framed out as well. Got to figure out what we're doing here with this little young gap, but we'll figure that out. Drywall people are not miracle workers; they just do what's being asked. And this is our little rail that we have here that was framed out previously. So we don't have a rail coming around, but we do have a rail here. So we're taking a look at here. So what we had, so this is our wash and dry area that's up here. We had the wash and dryer was supposed to be delivered. It was trying to be delivered on Thursday, but we weren't completely ready, so we had that rescheduled for next week. Quick look in here. So I see that we have the water, we have hot water, cold water source. We have light switch. We have a light up there, but where's the switch for the light? So most likely it'll be a pull string. We're not going, as I said, we're not concerned about things. We just figure out how to make things happen. So my only concern with this area is that I need a plug for the washer and dryer. So it needs to be a plug actually inserted into this area. So that means that our nice electrician is going to have to either cut a hole in the drywall that we made, and now that the walls are not open, he's going to have to fish a line through, which makes it a little more difficult for him. But hey, these are some of the trials that you have when you don't figure out the whole process in the very beginning. So you want to make sure that you are doing a double check. So we're going to go check the other areas of the house. So come on through. So our kitchen, we didn't do there was no construction done in this area. So currently we're just changing the paint colors in the kitchen area. You can see the door, we've changed the color to blue. We're going to change the paint in here. As you can see that we've started, and the paint, we're changing the colors, trying to freshen some things up. So this is the original bedroom. Light switch isn't working here. All right, so this was that big room, the bedroom that we had previously, that now has lended itself to the stairs over here. So we have. Okay. So we have the bedroom, which we removed the closet there. So now the closet is behind the door. Okay. All right, that's a decent sized closet. This doesn't look really small. So we have a decent sized closet there. So we're gonna walk through, rest of the place, and then we're gonna talk a little bit about everything. So we got the bathroom, which we are freshening up in here as well. There's a light switch there's a light in here we need to actually replace or do something else too. We'll figure that out. Our living room, we have that we did some freshening. The living room and dining room have also been freshened up with some paint. We got some trim up there that needs to be done. And trim just means that we're making sure that those lines are crisp. So at the top of there, you see that gray that's actually touching some of the trim and the trim up there. So we're gonna switch that out with some white paint, trim it off, cleaning and start cleaning everything up. So all of these boxes that you guys see over here are for us to actually furnish the unit. So we're at the stage of today that we're actually going to be going through these boxes. So we've been gathering boxes here for about a month to start furnishing the unit out. So now to where we are now. So what we're expecting this week was we were supposed to have drywall. We should have had drywall, mud and taped, been painted out, and been getting closer to the finishings of the trim for the electrician and trim for the electrician is him putting the light plates on, the actual sockets in, and putting the light fixtures in. So that is trim for the electrician. Trim for the plumber is putting in the sink, the sink, the toilet, tying in all the water sources, making sure everything is functioning correctly, including the shower. So our expectation for this week was to be at the point of them all just having to do finishes next week, and us actually being able to roll and being clean and ready to start furnishing everything by Friday. That's what we're going for next week. At this point, my contractor and I are going to sit down and have our conversation where we talk about where we are at the end by the end of next week.